About that, the Wild stave off what I would consider a must-win game, even though I still think tonight might be a must-win game. Wild take on the Denver Avalanche. Meanwhile, Victor was not there for much of last night's game, but Wemby will be there tomorrow. The Twins win a couple of games. The Frost stave off elimination, and the United play to a 2-2 draw. I say the United play to a 2-2 draw. With all of that, so many topics, where do we start? Let's spin the wheel of topics.
Wheel of Topics!
Commons Golf Game.
What did you shoot today?
81.
Where'd we play?
Loggers Trail.
Where'd you hit it on?
Just split the fairway just perfectly.
How far from the green were you?
I had a 123 yards to the green.
Second shot?
Tugged on it left and missed the green left.
Then what?
Hit an exquisite pitch shot to about 4 or 5 feet.
Then what?
Buried the putt for par.
Incredible.
I had a great start today. I was 1 over through 7. And the par on 7, 7 at Loggers tend to be, it's a great hole. Too bad you got to walk down at single file, right? And I kind of hung on to it a little bit, and it got over the crest of the hill on the right side, rolled down almost to the bottom, but it was in the rough, and I had that ball that's just a little bit below your feet, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, do I try to take it over the top of the tree, or do I try to hit the low runner underneath? And I'm like Oberg. I mean, not talent-wise. He's not quite as good as I am, but I don't waste any time hitting a golf shot. You've played enough with me. I see it, I hit it. I don't sit and stand over it. My boy, baby brother Peter, and his buddy Jay Money, I know part of their, and I can't say it to them because everybody's their own, but they spend too much time watching golf videos and do the feet waggle and, just hit the ball. I guarantee you'll play better if you hit the ball. But anyway, I hit it really good 9-iron. It just clipped the tree and dropped straight down. And then I had like 60 yards and I hit this brilliant low pitch, skipped in front, went over the fringe on the right, and just it clanked off the pin. I thought it was going to fall in. Clanked off the pin about 8 inches to the right. And then all of a sudden it just got away from me, made a sloppy bogey on 8. And then I hit it in the water on 9. It's just like, I'm in a perfect spot. Perfect drive, perfect hybrid, got a 9-iron in my hand, and I just pull it. And the heel catches into the turf, goes in the water, makes 7. Then I go bogey train, bogey 10, bogey 11, bogey 12, bogey 13. Make a 30-foot birdie putt on 14, double 15, and such a bad double, it's like I don't even deserve to continue the run. Then I made a beautiful birdie on 16. After making the double on 15, made a wonderful up and down par on 17, and then bogeyed 18. But it's close to me. I feel as though I should be at Aronimink. Is that how you say it? Aronimink? You familiar with Aronimink? That's where they're playing the PGA Championship this year. It starts Thursday. No, that's where they're playing it. It's a golf course called Aronimink. And it's in...
No, the rim shot was for you saying that you should be playing there.
Oh!
Yeah.
Well, okay, let me do that over again. Hold on. I thought maybe you were saying, didn't think it was being played there. Hold on. I should be playing at Aronimink. Yoga Pants, Brass, Power Trip Morning Show. Someone said I didn't get the clock tweet. What happens at 3 o'clock? Regular show reboot on Cartoon Network. They've been they shut her down after 8 seasons, and then I think J.G. Quintel, the guy that created it, I think he tried to do some other projects, and guess what? I think those projects flopped. So what do you do when you've had a very successful run in a series and then it flops? You go back to that series. So they're doing the Lost Tapes regular show 3 o'clock. I was going to take the day off. I was going to call in sick. Because it ends, I get done at 3, and then I got to get in the car and race home. But then I don't want to watch it without Deuce and baby brother Peter. It's one of those.
You can just take the last segment off. I mean, others have done that before.
Yeah, it's been done many times in many ways. So
we just re-rack the montage like 4 times.
Well, we're getting all sorts of as you would expect. The people just love your montages. Right now, it's not over. Two of the best get it pumped up in here montages you can go to. I'm so ready. If I had 3 wishes. He thinks the same thing if he had those 3 wishes. I'm glad to see the program stream with the important topics, Commons golf game. Well, it is important. Comment, I'm crying. Think about that. Crying. Goosebumps. Tenna is undefeated. Let's go. Comment, please send me the number for the contractor doing your office remodel. I just busted through a brick wall after that opening. Well done, Tenna B. So much for brick walls in Minnesota. Well done, Tenna B. Great montage, Tenna B. If the Twins could hit as many homers as Tenna B does with these montages, the Twins would be world champions. Well done, young man. My left arm has wolf goosebumps, and my right has wild ones. It's just over and over and over. People are excited. We'll talk about the results of both games. The Wild one, was that Saturday?
Yeah, we won Saturday. The Wild won Saturday night.
And the Wolves won last night.
So Wolves lost Friday.
Right.
Then won last night.
We'll talk about the 2 victories. We don't talk about losses. We'll talk about the 2 victories on Saturday and Sunday. We'll also look ahead to tonight's game with the Wild. We got a couple of other tricks up our sleeve. In other words, a little of this, a little of that, with the emphasis on the lat. Peek at the Purple is next here on the Common Man program. BigDeck.com, though, wants to help you put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest, or no?
I don't know if we have the cash contest.
What? Work? Cash contest?
Oh, yeah, we did cash contest. Hold on.
It's cash contest.
I'm used to Nerdo printing it up for me, but he wasn't here today.
I wish the keyword would be montage. That's what it should be, but I don't think it will be. But Tenna B does have a keyword to try to put $1,000 in your hand. BigDeck.com. Get your deck on.
Yeah, the fan and BigDeck.com want to give a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword media at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. The keyword is media. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Common Man.
I feel a lot of solid energy coming out of you. Good, positive aura. Great. It's all great.
Weekdays at noon.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Brian text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He's Tenna B. We're here until 3. Big Ticket and JG take over at 3 o'clock. It's time now for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. They're your old home specialists. May is Electrical Safety Month, and Affordable Electric is here to remind you, hello, safety starts at home or your business. Their licensed electricians are ready to help you with safety inspections. How about surge protection, panel upgrades, and so much more, because even small issues can lead to big problems. Whether your space is old or new, Affordable Electric will make sure your electrical system is safe, efficient, and up to code. Here's all you need to do, 612-331-VOLT. You can call or text or visit affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. Boy, Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. I don't have a lot with the Purple today. From what I understand, Adrian Peterson will be inducted into the Vikings Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
It's good for him. Yeah, I'm not a big Adrian Peterson guy, but that's none of my business. So anyways, but that is really about the only Vikings news. They start OTAs and mini camps. And, I was talking to somebody today, one of the golf professionals at one of the local golf courses. And for me, I'm a football fan first and foremost. The NFL ranks number 1 with me. It's really the only sport that I really still kind of rube it up for a little bit. And I was talking to him and I said, this Wild and Wolves run though, what's nice about it, it's nice to still have something to go, hey.
Yeah.
And especially because both teams are pretty good. They might not be the best in the league. Now, that remains to be seen. They're both still in the thick of things for winning a Stanley Cup or for winning the Doubleday Trophy. But at least they are good. They provide excitement. Both games. But a peek at the purple brought to you by Affordable. I want to move on from the purple. A peek at the purple brought to you by Affordable Electric for all of your electrical needs. Affordable-electric.com. They're shockingly affordable. Can we stop with the nonsense now? I was getting so weary of all the whiny, feeling sorry for themselves, Wild fans going, we can't win without Eck. Without Ecky, we just don't have a guy in the middle. There's nothing we can do without Ecky. Did Ecky play on Saturday or not?
He did not.
He did not. What was the final score?
5-1.
Not only did we beat Denver, we destroyed Denver without Ecky. So, again, and I know it'd be great to have him. It increases your chances of winning. He's one of your better players on the team. But we got to stop this feeling sorry for ourselves. Anytime we lose a player or the referees are against us or this, or take the words of the late John Belushi. It's not over until we say it's over. And that's why I'm glad you played that today, Tenneby, because, I think we've seen the last of Gustafsson in the nets for the postseason, I would think. And I'm not really trying to rip Gustafsson. I'm not. It was another really, Volstead was really good against against Denver. He was really, really good. And the team just played well. And there's some desperation there. I get it. You're down 2 games to Zippo. Desperation, I always think, is a bit overrated because people always factor in, well, they're desperate. Well, yeah, I know they're desperate, and I'm not saying it doesn't help some, but part of the reason you're desperate is because you've put yourself in a hole, and sometimes it's difficult to dig out of that hole. But they've done just that. And it's a game 4 tonight, and obviously, we talked about it, Tenneby. Being down 2 games to none, my math tells me you'd have to win to advance to the conference finals. You'd have to win 4 of the next 5. That's difficult to do against a team that's as good as Denver is. And now you got to win 2 out of 3. No,
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4, which is still a difficult task, but it's since you're at home, that's why this game obviously becomes so important tonight. Your thoughts on what happened in the 5-1 blowout on Saturday night?
It was a very encouraging victory, not only just to win the game because you needed to win it, but the manner in which you won it, the style of play. The Wild appeared to get their identity, their personality back that we had seen versus the Dallas Stars that had escaped them the first 2 games of the Colorado series and got back to doing what they do well, getting in on the forecheck, banging some bodies, making some skilled plays, and keeping the other team at bay offensively. As dangerous as Colorado was offensively, they had a couple looks, but for the most part, until the shooting gallery there at the end of the game, the Wild kept them to not getting very many good scoring chances, not getting a lot of odd man rushes, and keeping everything to the outside. So a very encouraging win to give you renewed hope. It wasn't just hey, we happen to win because our goalie stole the game, right, or we got a puck luck play here, or they outplayed us and we just snuck it out. The Wild were the better team.
Yes. On
Saturday night.
And have the negatives who have been whining about Kaprizov. Maybe they'll be done again. It was he's and look, I'm one of them that, because the name of the game is, last I checked, Tenneby, you win the game by putting the puck in the net more times than the other team. So scoring goals, assists are nice, and that leads to goals. But I think people, including myself, I'm one of those. I'm sort of a casual when it comes to the NHL. I want to see my best player, though you could say, I guess you could argue Hughes is the best player, but Kaprizov, one of the top 2 best players on the club. I guess Boldy. I mean, you got 3 really good players. We're 3 deep. We're 3 deep, and you want to see Kaprizov score.
I compare those 3 to Moss, Carter, and Jake Reed is what I would. Or should I compare him to Jefferson Addison and why is the new guy's name escaping me? Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to say it was more like Moss, Carter, and Juwan Jennings rather than Jake Reed. Yeah, so I like to see him score, and he played very well, and it was fun. And again, like you say, it's more than just, well, we got lucky, or they lost McKinnon. Is it McCarr? What's his name?
Well, there's two of them, McKinnon and McCarr.
Yeah, but I mean, it's McCarr, right?
Which one are you talking about? Yeah, Kale McCarr?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about both of them. I know there's two guys, but I just didn't know it was Carr or McCarr. I couldn't remember. I'm not paying as close attention. So it's not like they lost McKinnon or McCarr. And like, for instance, last night,
Wemby.
They lose Wemby, and the Spurs almost won that. I have an explanation for that. We'll talk some Wolves and more Wild as the afternoon wears on, and other topics as well here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
It was a fun weekend on the Fan.
Now Ant takes the handoff, rises up, and gives the Wolves the lead.
Hughes. 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head to KFAN.com. Bonus Bucks is presented by BigDeck.com.
Go 13-14 past. I'm Common. He is Teneby. I've been telling you about this for a couple of weeks now, but I think it's important to note that Toro Days at Llano Equipment will expire on the 17th. It's your opportunity to save big on equipment you can rely on all season. Take $300 off Toro My Ride zero-turn mowers and up to $1,000 off the 60-volt time cutter. Grab serious savings on commercial landscape mowers. That's at Llano Equipment. They have 3 locations. Go to LanoEquip.com. They're in Loretto, Anoka, and also in Shakopee. That's the home office. I was there. Was that 2 Wednesdays ago? They had Customer Appreciation Day, so I dropped by over there and talked to Justin, who runs the operation there, and he's going to put together I'm going to get a Toro walk behind electric. No more Exxon pouring into my lawnmower anymore. So we'll get that taken care of. But take advantage of that before Toro Days goes bye-bye. Teneby sent me this. This is from Shams. It was a little bit earlier this morning. It says there will be no further discipline for Spurs star Victor Wembanyama after he was ejected for elbowing Naz Reid in Minnesota on Sunday night. Sources tell ESPN. No suspension, no fine. Wembanyama will be there Game 5 against the Timberwolves on Tuesday night in San Antonio. And the ejection was well-deserved. I mean, he gave him a good elbow. You could tell it was in frustration, too. Sometimes you wonder if a guy's just trying to, he's got the ball, someone's trying to dig it away from him, and he just moves his arms to try to, to keep the ball away from your opponent. But that was, and I don't know if he knew exactly where Naz Reid's head was, but he needed to be ejected. They made the right call on the review.
Wait, didn't he look at him before he did it? I thought there was camera review that showed he was looking at him.
Maybe he did. Whatever. Whatever happened, it was well deserved. Whatever it was well deserved. And I don't think, though, my guess is there will be Timberwolves fans, or maybe even the team themselves, that will think there should have been further disciplinary action, a suspension or a fine. I don't think they're going to do that in the playoffs at this time. Again, with so much at stake, I don't think I don't even know if they take this kind of thing into consideration. Is like he a multiple offender of these kinds of things? I think that's the first time in his career he's ever been given what do they call it? A double technical top secret probation, flagrant 2. So to me, it's, I'd said once earlier this year that at times it appears the Wolves are better without Anthony Edwards. The Spurs were terrific without Wembanyama last night. My guess is they would love to have had him. And, some people wonder, well, what happened? My guess is it's one of those, tell me if you agree with this. It's one of those circle the wagons kind of a moment where you lose your star player. The other guys kind of go, we got to dig down deep, man. We're in some trouble here. And so they ratcheted it up a notch or two. And
Wolves did it against Denver when Ant went out.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Io put up, 40-some points?
Yes, that's exactly right. Very good point. So I think that's probably what happened. And there was some nail biting at 13-14 Insane Lane last night. I did think they were going to let that slip away. They were up 8, or Spurs were up 8 with 3-4 minutes, whatever it was. And then Ant did. He was, again, I'm not a big idolizer and pedestalizer, as you know, tend to be, but he hit 3 or 4 shots that were just, catch and shoot. Doesn't have a second to think because they were collapsing on him. Anytime he got the ball coming across center court, there were 2 guys draped all over him. They were not going to let Anthony Edwards beat them, yet Anthony Edwards beat them. The rest of the Wolves have a lot of other really good players, but they're not as consistent as Edwards as is. Hey, all athletes, even the best in the world, will have their off nights or their off moments. But Randall has too many. Gobert has too many. McDaniel has too many. Yada, yada, yada. You name all the players on the club. But Ant he even said it last night. I don't think he was, you could call it being cocky, but it's just the truth. He just said, I couldn't let our team lose tonight. He won that game for them, really. There were other nice plays. I get it. But without Ant, they lose that game last night. And then the series is basic. Because then it's also the psychological thing where you go, well, not only did we lose, but we lost when they didn't have Wemby. And so, and then you're down 3-1.
It would have been a bad loss.
Yeah, and then you're down 3-1. And, can you win 3 in a row? It's happened before. But I would have think their goose would have been cooked at that time. Sort of like that goose that you chased out into the street that was honking in front of your front door. So that's a nice win for the Wolves last night. And it was, and both teams hit cold spell shooting, including the Spurs late in the game, but I think a lot of that had to do with the defense by the Wolves, too. They played an exceptional fourth. And Ant, what do you have, 14 in the fourth quarter? That's just really good basketball. So, so now in that game now at 2-2, it's anybody's series. I saw the odds. I don't remember. I still think, going back to San Antonio, my guess is the Spurs with Wembanyama will be a favorite, but anything can happen. Your thoughts on last night's tilt?
I have a couple things I want to touch on. Okay. One, the Victor Wembanyama non-suspension, non-punishment.
Yeah.
I do ask if Luke Cormitt had done that exact same thing. Is Luke Cormitt suspended for Game 5?
Could be, yeah.
If Wemby had punched Naz Reid instead of elbowed him, would he be suspended?
Yes, yeah, I think if he punched him. I think
ultimately, what's different than a punch or an elbow to the jaw? Still pretty vicious with a very strong bone, and he intended to do it.
You got to protect the brand. And that's
I know that's why. That's why they're doing it. And
sounds like you're bitter about it.
Ultimately, I don't care that much.
Oh, okay.
But I just don't know. Right? Let's just face it. Life isn't fair, and the NBA playoffs isn't fair. I'm just saying.
Do you think if Ant had done the same thing, they would have suspended Ant or fined him?
No, they would have suspended him. Yeah. No, they wouldn't. Yeah,
and I'm glad they didn't, because then again, you can say, well, then that will encourage him if he does it again. What would prevent him from doing it again? And you can say you have to draw a line somewhere where if someone makes an elbow like that to somebody's head, that you have to suspend him. You can make that argument. I'm of the opinion, though, that I don't know. I let bygone.
I just don't know if that elbow is any different than a punch to the face. Other than, as a player, I think what Wemby was trying to do is, I'm going to do the old elbow, but I have the ball in my hand, so I look like I'm going to try to act like I'm making a normal play when I'm really trying to take a shot at this guy. Yeah. But that was a pretty vicious elbow.
Yeah.
Game 3, Wemby was absolutely brilliant in that game. If Wemby plays like he does in Game 3, the Bulls don't have a shot. I don't know if he can duplicate that effort again, but he was a one-man force, both defensively and offensively. If he's going like that offensively, the Wolves are going to struggle against them.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
And I had mentioned before the series that I worried about, because San Antonio can protect the rim so much better than Denver can, that the Wolves were going to need some outside shooting. They were going to need some three-point shooters, and that's where they were going to miss Dante DiVincenzo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where specifically, when they are double-teaming Anthony Edwards right away, half the reason they can do that is because the Wolves don't have like your typical spot-up 3-point shooter without DiVincenzo in the lineup.
Yes.
If DiVincenzo's sitting there at the 3-point line and they doubled and you go right to him every single time, he would kill him. And they don't really have that guy right now.
Couple of different. I agree with you absolutely. He is. I like to chide Rosen because when I first asked Rosen earlier in the season, it was like 2 or 3 months in. I said, "Would you trade Ant for Wembenyama?" And he said, "Absolutely not in a million years." And I think he's changed his tune there. And that's, to me, that's not a diss on Ant. I don't think there's a player in the league I would rather not have than Wembenyama. Now again, he could blow out his knees, or he's big and tall. Sometimes those guys' careers don't last, but he is.
He might end up being the most dominant big man we've ever seen.
Well, that's it.
I mean, he has that ceiling in him.
Yeah, I think he does. He's that good. This one says, in a true show of sportsmanship, Wemby has agreed to play on his knees tonight. That would help. That would be actually tomorrow night. This one says, totally okay with no suspension, but pretty wild the NBA didn't even fine him. I tend to agree with that. They probably should have. Though, again, it doesn't hurt these guys much. But, yeah, he probably should have. Here's another that says, I get Ant was and usually is essential to these games, but can we admit the team plays so much cleaner when there is not as much Ant? Game one with Ant on a minutes limit, they played a great and balanced game. There is a fine line. There are some guys that, when Ant gets the ball, he shoots a lot. But when he's on, that's what you want him to do. If he's not, then it can be a negative. It's still, I understand what the text message is. You got to kind of pick your poison.
You can't tell me you wouldn't rather have Anthony Edwards.
Right. But I think what he's saying is that there are some times where
they move the ball around a little bit better.
Exactly. Well, they showed the example last night during that Spurs game, the way they moved the ball one time. Every guy touched the ball. And then they had an easy layup underneath. It went around the horn, and boom, it was really bad defense on the Wolves on that play. But every guy touched the ball. It was just absolute.
Well, the Wolves might be better defensively at this current state, right? He's not playing very good defense just based off his knees.
Well, yeah, because he's got because I think even when he was healthy, sometimes he's been known to not give as much on the defensive end every possession because he expends so much energy offensively, so people give him a...
I'll tell you what, though, he is still, if you want to call him a slump buster, or, in baseball, you have a stopper, right? Mm-hmm. If you're on a couple-game losing streak and you want to throw your best pitcher out there, Ant is the Wolves' version of the other team's on an 8-0 run. We are just awful offensively right now. He can go get us a bucket.
Yeah, I agree. This one says, all this love for Ant funny. Isn't that coming from the guy who said to trade Ant? Well, they should have traded him at the time when the team was. There's nobody to me that's untradeable. I'll tell you right now, unless it looks to me like with the way the team is composed, I think they're going to have a tough time getting past San Antonio, and I don't know how Oklahoma City. I mean, again, no team is infallible, but I don't see anybody getting by Oklahoma City. They're that good, I think. And
even more so if you don't have 100% Ant.
Well, that's
which
it.
Probably won't.
And so I think unless you keep putting this cast, I just don't look at. I know Randall can be really, really good. I just don't look at him as a 1-2 punch like you had when you had the Splash Brothers or Jabbar and Magic. Pippen and Jordan or Hardaway and O'Neal.
Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, Kobe and Shaq. I just don't look at Randall as being that kind of a guy, and I don't think there's anybody else on the team that you could.
I think he's been pretty frustrating in the series too. Yeah. Last night, I mean, the amount of turnovers he had.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not even like passing turnovers; they're stealing the ball from him.
So and I think that is why Conley was seriously, because by all accounts he was serious in trying to acquire Antetokounmpo. And I can see why sometimes you want a real 1-2, right? And that's are you in here to, I thought you were going to try to get me going again.
No, why would you think that?
Because you've done it before. become a highlight of your day to come in here and tell me I'm not doing enough of this or not doing enough of that or doing too much of this and too much of that.
I wish you wouldn't have talked about your golf game to start the show, but after that,
people seem to like it. I had a good round going. I played well early on. People need to know that I'm trending in the right direction.
I'm just trying to fix a computer in here so Sauce doesn't complain on the radio every morning. So,
well, what's wrong with the computer?
Something, and
just reboot it.
Yeah, Teneby is the only one that tells people when something's not right. So I'm trying to fix it. I didn't mean to interrupt your show. I'm just trying to fix something.
No different than a punch. Jaden does it. He's suspended. Oh, we're getting mistreated in Minnesota. We don't get the advantages the other team has. Play better. Score better. Play defense better.
Yeah, I don't look at this as them favoring another market over us. I just look at it as, like I said, if Ant had done the same thing, they wouldn't suspend him.
No.
But I do believe if it was some no-name on the bottom of their roster who did it, he would be suspended.
This one says, I'm a Wolves fan. I don't believe that Wemby was intentionally trying to elbow anyone in the face. Having been in that situation as a player, simply trying to get people off and he just happened to hit someone in the face. That's the way I saw it. That's the way I saw it. He may have known he was right there, and he was definitely frustrated. He was frustrated because the Wolves were doing to him.
They're harassing him.
What the Spurs were doing to Ant. I mean, they're trying to throw everything at him to slow him down. Great show so far, Common. Love when you told us about your round. There it is. You want to see this? I didn't make that up. You want to come over and see it?
Do you want to see all the emails I get saying the opposite?
Well, then they should send them to me, not to you.
They're tattling.
Leave the radio to the professionals. That's what I'm trying to say.
Can I ask you a basketball question as long as I'm in here?
Sure.
If we're that afraid of Wemby, how would you defend him?
Deny him the ball.
Thank you.
That's all you need to do. Deny him the ball.
Brilliant.
Is it possible to deny him the ball?
Well, that's the other problem. It's really kind of difficult to do that. Somebody sent me that an email or a text on that and said, there goes your theory about denying somebody the ball when it comes to Wembanyama. This one says, the lack of ability to get the ball past midcourt in the transition defense is embarrassing. Also, they figured out what to do when Anthony is double-teamed. Yeah, well, they tried to give it away late. They couldn't get the ball.
Yes.
They had it. Didn't it drop to like a 3-point lead with 8 seconds to go or 10 seconds? I mean, again, I still felt the Wolves were going to win the game, but that's how teams steal games.
They've had a couple throw-ins in these playoffs that have been issues.
That's exactly right.
Question for you.
Yes.
I know you can't, they were out of timeouts. They can't call timeout. But don't they have plays like set plays they can call to get somebody open on a throw-in? Because it seems like late in games it's just, all right, Io, you just go run around and try to get open. Like, that's the play.
Well, how about the play?
Can't you get guys like Julius, come set a pick here?
How about the play that basically saved the game when they threw the long inbounds pass and it went off Io and it was gone. The ball was going out of bounds, but then his leg, I don't know what
it was like Antonio Freeman against the Vikings at Lambeau Field.
Yes, that's exactly what it was like, and it bounced off his foot and he was able to grab the ball. If that doesn't happen, we might be talking about a loss, but we're not.
Is that legal, by the way? Off the leg? I mean, if you kick a ball at any other point, they be called on you, right?
I missed the golf talk. Can you please revisit it? Top of next segment. The wheel of topics seems to work just fine. Do not fix it anyway, spinning it every day.
I always love that.
Common, every day I hope the wheel lands on your golf game. Tell Abbott to leave the radio to the professionals. Leave the radio to the professionals, not the coroner's office. Wow. You can tell Abbott the only 3 things I tune in for are 1, the same takes over and over, 2, Common's golf game, and 3, Common's lunch. So there you go.
I always love that.
Isn't that funny?
So I'm getting ripped.
You're getting ripped.
Could you stand up?
This one says, tell Abbott to leave the radio to the professionals, one after another.
Do they need to see the trophy in your office, Abbott?
Yeah, it's a great point.
What is this guy's problem? What would he think if someone other than me provided sponsorship for Wheel of Topic? We've been trying to sell it.
We'd be very interested. If you're interested in supporting this program, because he needs the support, shoot me an email.
I had a conversation with one of the sales weasels. No, I don't call them weasels. I love they're close personal friends of mine. We're doing very well here on the Common Man program.
But there's plenty of room for other people to jump on the
that's
bandwagon,
it.
right?
And we would like that. We would really, if you are if you're a business owner and you'd like to advertise your goods, your services, and your wares here, not just on the Common Man program, but anywhere on the radio station, maybe the Power Trip Morning Show, because it's always so funny. Call this radio station or the Radio Advertising Bureau, because radio is the red hot. That's not me urinating. That's like
and I'll
fire.
say, because you're modest, you don't like to talk about yourself
Right.
very well. You're doing very well in the ratings, and you are very, very, very
it's hard for you to say,
highly.
isn't it?
Yes, it is. You're outperforming everybody else in the market. I can confirm that.
I'm biting my lip. I'm emotional. I can't believe you, because we really don't have this kind of a relationship where we ever like say nice things about each other. That's the nicest thing you've ever said about me. It was hard for you, wasn't it?
Pretty good at what you do.
Yeah.
But Tenna's montage was brilliant.
Well, it
today.
was brilliant today.
No, we're repurposing that. That was brilliant.
Also, good is the enemy of great.
Thank you. That's right.
Yeah, but
He's just trying to make it better.
Yeah, but you know what? Mediocre is the enemy of good.
Huh?
And sometimes I'm mediocre. So I just need to get to good. Let's stop worrying about great. For crying out loud. Let's save that for another day. Yeah, so all I know is, those were obviously, we knew both teams really needed to win badly, particularly the Wild. They couldn't go. They go down 3-0. I'm sorry, it's over. And then someone said they're not Denver. Duh. I call them the Denver Avalanche. They're based in Denver. Who cares?
It's the St. Paul Wild, then.
Yes. Well, you know what? I will call them the St. Paul Wild on occasion. It's just like it's not the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's the Toronto. Because I ran into a Canuck on the golf course at Prestwick last Friday. He said, do you know, because I was talking with a kid behind the desk. He caddied for a kid who was trying to qualify for the first stage of the U.S. Open at North Oaks, Tennessee's favorite golf course. And I said to the kid behind the desk, I said, do you know the trivia about North Oaks? He said, yeah, it was the only golf course Stanley Thompson designed in the United States. I go, how did you know that? Well, the other guy in the pro shop was from Canada, so he knew all about it. He said, I just want you to know, people from Toronto don't call it Toronto. They drop the last T and they just call it Toronto. And so I'm going to call it Toronto. I'm going to call them the Toronto Maple Leaves, because it should be leaves instead of leaves.
Now that I agree with, too,
and if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to call them the Denver Avalanche from now on. Sorry. We'll break. We'll come back. Tennessee's got
and actually, the Toronto Maple, it actually stands for Toronto Maple Leaves after the first round of the playoffs. Is what that used to be.
That's good. I like that. I'm going to give you a rim shot for that, because they leave. Did you like my Wembenyama one? Wembenyama will be there tomorrow night. That's a song by Michael McDonald. Yamo be there. I don't know if you're familiar with it. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Tennessee, you have a tease for us for 534?
Yes. Yeah, hey. The Twins won a series.
Do you believe it?
They did?
Yes, I do.